speech from Kamala Harris. Again, we talked in our first hour, in case you missed this, and this isn't rocket science, but it is worth, I think, highlighting and underscoring once again, which is that um, Joe Biden will forever be able to say that he was the vice president to the first black president, Barack Obama, and that he was the president to the first sister president, Kamala Harris, if she can pull this off. And so it is it's quite a convention. History being made here. I happen to be in Boston. I've covered these things in my career so many times. I was in Boston when Barack Obama gave the big speech in 2004, as I recall, that really put him on the map, and people started declaring then he should be president. Of course, I was in Denver when he accepted the nomination on the day that the anniversary of the "I Have a Dream" speech, the March on Washington, historic day for Obama to accept that nomination in Denver, and I'm delighted to be in the hall this week when Kamala Harris will accept the nomination Thursday night, and off will be sprinting between now and September. I was just talking to Dean Phillips, correspondent of Minnesota, about the fact that one of the blessings I think to come out of this is that we see now that we can do a short campaign. This does not have to be a 3-year process, and I hope that we will have some serious conversation about that when we move forward. About the way we run for president, the way we do our process in this country. It's just far too long, too protracted, too much money being spent. I digress on that for now. But again, I confess I was one of those persons who thought the runway was going to be too short for Kamala. And now the runway may be just about right for her to pull this off. So we shall see. In any event, this is day 2 of the DNC in Chicago, and I'm pleased to be here. I'm pleased to have Amy Allison with us. She's the founder of She the People. Amy, good to see you. How are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great, especially after last night.
Yeah.
Perfect description of what we experienced.
You felt the burn. You felt the pump.
I did,
Yeah.
and actually, me yelling and screaming when the Vice President Kamala Harris came out.
Yeah.
I was in the front row sitting with the California delegation, so I'm on the front page of the New York Times today.
I've not seen the front page today. But as a black woman, I must ask, did you like the picture?
Oh, well, listen.
Yeah.
Listen, it was me and thousands of people behind me, full of joy. I don't think I felt this particular kind of elation and hope
Right.
that I feel, that I feel this week here at the convention, because in a lot of ways is a culmination of, my personal work, my political work, but generations of Black women and women of color's work. So to watch history being made, as you said, watch our culture shifting under our feet, watch the Democratic Party finally see us, to experience a day where this was really the programming for last night's convention was in large part to signal to the base, to Black and brown women, we are with you, we have your back, and we see you. It was a night from Congresswoman Lauren Underwood to AOC to the surprise, VP's appearance, to the messages and the videos we were seeing. This was a woman of color night, and we felt it.
Yeah. What's your sense of what this moment means? I'm looking forward now. What's your sense of what this moment means for the way the party will heretofore regard the concerns of women of color? I don't need to go back in history and tell you all the times that was not at the top of the agenda.
No, it's not that long.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
That's my point.
It's recent history.
We ain't got to go back to that. But was last night, to your mind, a game changer in terms of the way this party moving forward will have to take seriously the concerns of that particular constituency?
Let me tell you a moment that will stay with me forever. When Hillary Clinton gave her speech last night, it was something we hadn't heard from her before. I remember when she ran in 2016, her campaign said she was the first. But we Black women knew about Shirley Chisholm. It kind of stung. Why aren't we being acknowledged in this grand tradition of women's empowerment, of women's political aspirations? Why are Black women being written out of the story? But what happened last night was we saw, probably the most famous modern day third wave feminist, put her work and her legacy firmly in the history and work of Shirley Chisholm. It was remarkable. And to have Hillary Clinton give credence and gratitude to not only just Shirley Chisholm, but the work and the politics that Shirley Chisholm represented. I had tears well up. I was in the front row, so I could feel that something has changed. Now, what I think has changed for the Democratic Party is a recognition that they can't go forward without women of color, and they can't go forward without Black women. At the helm, so much more is possible.
Hold that thought. I want to continue with that line of thinking about what the party is forced to grapple with as it moves forward. I said on this program yesterday, Amy, I don't think you disagree, that it was clear to me that post-Biden, it came faster than we thought.
That's right.
But post-Biden and post-Trump, both parties had to have a reckoning. And the Democratic reckoning is far different even than the reckoning that I imagined, because I didn't see this happening, nor did anybody else see it happening, that Kamala would be the nominee and things would happen so swiftly. But there's a conversation to be had, and we will have it in just a moment, about what going forward looks like, particularly with people of color at the epicenter of it, if not at the forefront of it. Our guest is Amy Allison. She's founder of She the People. You're listening to us live from inside the United Center in Chicago, day 2 of the DNC.
Generous listening. Charitable listening. It's why everybody wants to talk to Tavis. The conversation continues when we come forward.
Make a move into a home of your own. With City National Bank's Ladder Up Home Loan Grant, you could receive up to $20,000 that you never need to pay back. Use it toward your down payment, save on closing costs, or to buy down your mortgage rate. Find out more at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Property must be in a qualifying market in California, New York, or New Jersey. Additional terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Terms are subject to change without notice. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS number 536994.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacuspays.com.
As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust new Febreze car vent clips, now with 3 times greater scent control, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with new Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing, which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
Hey, LA, it's time to step up and be a climate change hero. Go Metro and help us shape a better future for all Angelinos. From enhancing our diverse communities to preserving our planet, Metro is dedicated to making a positive impact with every ride. Start your journey at metro.net.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey, checking in?
This is not just your flu shot appointment at Walgreens.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is getting your entire family vaccinated in one trip.
Hey, Mom?
And a snack on the way out. Get flu shots for everyone in your family, together. Schedule appointments online today. This is wellness made easy. Walgreens.
Vaccine subject to availability and for ages 3+. State and health-related restrictions may apply.
More honesty than you can handle. More empowerment than you can imagine. You're tuned in to Tavis Smiley.
Indeed you are, and I'm glad about it. We're live from the DNC in Chicago. It is day 2, and we're continuing our conversation now with Amy Allison. She's the founder of She the People. this is a whole another story for another time. But I've seen Amy here and there over the years. I've talked to Amy here and there over the years, and I just discovered that Amy just got married not too long ago to a guy I've known for 30 years, one of my dear friends and brothers. And we were just having a moment. I was like literally crying in the break because I didn't realize this was the same Amy who had married. I was not at the wedding, obviously, because I would have known better. But I didn't know that Amy was married to a guy I've known. Let me just we're live on radio, of course, but let me just take a moment here. David is so fortunate to have you, given who you are and your work and your witness, and obviously you know this because you married him. But David Kim is one of the most wonderful people I have ever met in my entire life. It is hard to meet anybody with a better spirit, with his presence, of course, his intellect, of course, brilliant scholar, his intellect. But the fact that the two of y'all are together, when I came to Chicago, I had no idea I was going to make this connection. So I can't wait to call David and say, David, I met your wife. This is amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah. It's amazing. And his work is in love and politics.
Yeah.
And the role of love in all of this.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I fell in love with him, was like, who's talking about love when it comes to the political game? Because, we think about the political game as being rough and tumble.
Yeah.
So it's something bigger than us.
Yeah. So I'm going to detour for a second because I can do this because it's my show. I love a love story. Everybody loves a love story. So just take a couple minutes and tell me how you and David met way back when and how this happened all these decades later, literally.
A lifetime ago in 2009.
Right.
Tavis Smiley had State of Black America Conference
in
LA.
Yeah.
At that time, I was Van Jones, who's now on CNN. People know him for
that. Van and I on the same plane. Our flight got canceled. We had all kind of drama getting here. But Van and I flew here together to Chicago from LA. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, in his previous life,
yes,
he was head of an organization. I was his media director. I was staffing him, and I was backstage at State of Black America.
Uh-huh.
And here comes Dr. David Kim, Dr. Cornell West, and yours truly. And I met briefly David, and then went on our way. We're living our lives.
Sure.
And then we re-met when he was doing these pop-ups called Love Driven Politics.
Mm-hmm.
And I was head of a political action committee called Democracy in Color. And for the first time in Democratic Party history, I was organizing along with my partner in that work, Steve Phillips, the first event on women of color in politics. Stacey Abrams was there, Nina Turner was there, and David attended the event, and I attended his. And I guess the rest is history, because there was so much around seeing politics not as a zero-sum game, but seeing it as a fulcrum for the expansion of our humanitarian and best selves as people and as community, and to love ourselves and one another. And politics can be an expression of that. It deeply affected and impacted my work, and I think it's one of the reasons that I founded She the People based on the value of love. I think that was his impact on me, and so I'm just really grateful. That's the foundation of our life together and our work in our respective fields.
Yeah, it's amazing because I was with David. I knew none of this, and he told me he was getting married. We were together in Scotland not too long ago, and he said he was we're both headed back to California. He was planning a wedding. I said, David, congratulations. I gave him a big bottle of wine while we were in Scotland. I said, take this with you. And off David went, and off I went. And you and David, I guess a month or two later, got married. And here we are now at the convention, and I'm running into you.
Yeah.
And didn't know any of this, and you're that Amy.
Yes.
This is hilarious.
It's an amazing. It just shows you how small the world is.
Yeah.
When you find your people.
Yeah.
The universe helps you find your people. So I'm really glad to be here with you today. And
I'm glad we're talking. And I just, again, I love a love story. And the fact that you were married to my friend of 25 years is amazing. I digress. I'm gonna be pinching myself all day today that we connected in this way, and I can't wait to talk to David when we get off the air. We're gonna call David.
Yes.
When we get off the air, so I can just let David know that you and I are together. Back to our conversation, though, and it's all about love. There was a lot of love in this hall last night for Joe Biden. There'll be love in this hall tonight for Bill Clinton and certainly Michelle Obama and Barack Obama, and of course all kind of love on Thursday night. I once did for Kamala Harris, of course. I did a speech some years ago. And the speech was really trying to get at this notion of whatever happened to the notion of love in our public discourse. Whatever happened to the notion of love in our public discourse. And it was a jumping off point to talk about King and how he would always put love at the epicenter of the public square in his work and in his witness. If you know anything about Dr. King, then you all know, of course, that he put love at the center of everything. And by love, I just simply mean this. We use the word love and people get crazy about the word. By love, I mean very simply that everybody is worthy just because. Doesn't matter where you went to school, how much money you make, who your mom and them are, what kind of hookup you have. None of that matters. None of your pedigree. Every single one of us is equally worthy just because. That's what it means to be in love with the demos. I bring that full circle because what Kamala Harris and Tim Walsh, see what I did there? What they're going to have to do in this convention is to convince everyday people that their lives matter.
That's right.
That they are equally worthy as the rich. That I'm going to put it this way: that the rest of us are as equally worthy and deserving as the rich in this country, just because. It doesn't matter. You are an American citizen, and just because you live in this country, you are a fellow citizen. So your life and your future and that of your children and your grandchildren matters just as much as anybody else. If any of that makes sense, tell me how you do that politically. How do you do that? How do you, I don't mean you, how Democrats do that this week? Let voters know that their concerns matter to them, no matter who they are or where they live.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
And it not only makes sense, but I would argue that it's one of the most important things that we need to understand about what's happening here in Chicago and here in the country.
Mm-hmm.
You know, over the last few years, the women of color I was talking to, people are planning to move. I want to move to Mexico, or I want to move to, Portugal or something. I got to get out of here because this is a country that hates me. That in every way, from banning books to denying our history to telling me I don't have control over my own body, they hate me. And now, in the course of a month, we have this hope that is almost like patriotism. So the word patriotism is love of country, love of the father country. But what we're witnessing is something that's through the lens of women of color, which is something like love. Love for fellow human beings, that I see you, that you are valuable and important. And there's nothing that you need to do other than you're here in this country and that you deserve consideration, you deserve to have a community and a government who supports your dignity, and that is an expression of love that we haven't felt in the public sphere for a while. We're starved of it. So the most interesting thing that I think has happened is talking about what does love of country, and I think it was in Kamala Harris talking about one of the great expressions of love in your country is to fight for what's right, is to make America live up to its promise, which is what we women of color, we Black women, we have known, and we want to hear a commitment to that, because they promised us a lot that we have yet to see. But we also heard that from AOC about love, a love of country, and what that means is to fight for what's right. And to me, that's where we have a profound connection between a love of people, humanitarian type love, and an expression of love which is fighting for what's right. That's what's being signaled to us here in Chicago from what's happening on the stage. That's what Kamala Harris and Walz need to continue in a lot of different ways, telling people that you matter, your vote matters, but more importantly, you and the communities you represent matter. Not because of the money,
Yeah.
not because of your skin color or what your hair looks like. You matter to us.
Yeah. Let me try something. This is going to be difficult, but let me try it anyway. I was having dinner last night with a table full of black intellectuals. Your husband, David Kim, is the favorite TA. I'll get in trouble for saying this publicly, but I know this. He's Cornell West's favorite TA. For all the years that Cornell West has taught and had teacher's assistants, Amy's husband, David Kim, is his favorite TA. And so Cornell West is in town. He's going to be on this program probably Wednesday or Thursday, but he's an independent running for president, but he's in town doing a bunch of progressive appearances and et cetera, et cetera. So we'll get him in here. But last night, I was at a table with him and a bunch of other people having dinner last night. It came up last night about the ways in which, and I hadn't really thought about it until we got in this deep dialogue last night, Amy, about, and I would have loved for David Kim to be at the table last night, the ways in which Kamala Harris connects to black women in particular and black people writ large in ways that Barack Obama did not. And it's not a diss of Barack Obama. Just hear me out here. We all love Barack Obama. We all voted for him. We love Michelle. We love the two babies, Sasha and Malia, et cetera, et cetera. But Barack Obama did not have the black connections that Kamala has. The dots didn't connect in the same way. He did not go to an HBCU. He did not pledge, you see where I'm going, don't you?
I do.
He did not pledge Kappa or Alpha or Omega or anything else. So just those two things alone, say nothing of the fact she's been raised her whole life in a Baptist church. You got the Baptist church thing, you've got the HBCU thing, you got the Divine Nine thing. And all of those things connect her to black people and to black women in particular in ways that Obama could not connect. I'm just going to keep it real. Part of what allowed us to connect to Barack was Michelle. You're going to see both of them on stage tonight, but she's a real sister from the south side of Chicago, and that allowed a lot of us to feel more comfortable with him, given who he was married to. No wonder that he pushed Michelle out there. We all love Michelle Obama, but that's his connectedness, if you will, to black life. His father's Kenyan. His father's not an African-American. But Kamala has these connections that Barack Obama did not have. I raise that because I've had concerns about whether or not the excitement will be the same the second time around as it was the first time around. And yet, in that dialogue that got deep, deep, deep last night at this table at dinner, I started to rethink my own process for deciding whether or not I think those connections will in fact save the day. Beyond the fact that she just happens to be black, those things are deep and they're entrenched. Does any of that make sense at all? I got 2 minutes here. We can continue when we come forward. But give me 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes of thoughts.
This is what I want to say.
Yeah, give it to me.
I'm from California, and I've been a long-time supporter of Kamala Harris through her ascendancy from local to statewide to Senate to now. And this is what I have experienced. I'm also biracial. So the thing about what is happening now is an acknowledgement of the expansiveness of the Black experience. It's an immigrant experience. It's a multiracial experience. Yes, it's an experience that puts some people at HBCUs or in the Divine Nine, and a lot of us weren't in that experience. We're still Black. The expansiveness of the Blackness plus other, identities that she's a kind of this representative of, plus the womanness is potent, and the country has never really seen this on the national, international stage like it is right now. And part of what I think I and a lot of people like me are responding to is that being Black can mean a lot of different things, but what we have in common is a common, powerful tradition in the Black, liberation, Black freedom tradition. And in Kamala Harris, it's expressed through her advocacy of civil rights, but it's also identity, it's also, inclusiveness, and it's in the language that she speaks. So she isn't just a person who says, I'm proud of, and I deeply identify with Black people as expressed in my membership in these networks and organizations. It's that the fact that I'm multiracial gives me access to a language and sensibility that not only tells us Black people, maybe even those of us who have been marginalized as with our Black identity, gives us a way in, but it also gives a lot of other people a way in.
It's getting good. As we say, it's getting rich. This dialogue is. I'm glad I got a few more minutes with Amy Allison. She's the founder of She the People. You're listening to both of us live right now from the United Center at the DNC in Chicago.
Why does Tavis say, when we come forward? Because he's not going back. And you don't have to go back either. Forward ever, backward never. More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know? The United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time. Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. The Democratic National Convention rolls on in Chicago, Illinois. A number of well-known names hit the stage Monday, including freshman Congresswoman African-American Jasmine Crockett of Texas, who urged voters to carefully consider the resumes of the two candidates for the Oval Office. General Motors is eliminating over 1,000 jobs, with almost 600 of the positions located at its Global Technical Center in Michigan. The company says the cuts are to streamline operations and lead to more efficiency. Gen Z is blaming social media for mental health issues they experience. That's according to a Talker research survey of 2,000 Gen Z social media users. They say TikTok and Instagram are the main culprits, followed by Facebook. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
The best nugs are now even better. Wendy's new saucy nugs take the nugs you love and sauce them up in bold flavors, including buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, and spicy ghost pepper. Try them all today. For a whole new way to nug, it's gotta be Wendy's. A participating U.S. Wendy's.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert practiced Monday for the first time since July 31st. Herbert was out with a plantar fascia injury in his right foot. Chargers coach Jim Harbaugh said Herbert looked sharp in his return despite the long layoff. The Chargers hope to have Herbert ready for the regular season opener September 8th against the Raiders. The Rams continue to be cautious with quarterback Matthew Stafford's hamstring injury. Stafford is limited to only stretching exercises in practice. The Rams are saving him for their regular season opener September 8th at Detroit. Miller Moss has been named USC starting quarterback. The junior from Mission Hills, California, has the challenging task of replacing Caleb Williams, the #1 pick in the NFL draft. Moss indicated he's up for the challenge when he threw 6 touchdown passes in USC's Holiday Bowl win over Louisville in December. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America, N.A., copyright 2024.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Ray Richardson, your sports connection here at KBLA Talk 1580. Join me and my co-host Neil Scarborough every Saturday night at 7 for Out of Bounds, the show that brings some flavor to the world of sports for 60 minutes. We take you beyond the scores and press conferences. We give you our point of view, the way black folks see what's going down. You can join the conversation and give us your analysis at 1-800-920-1580. Out of Bounds every Saturday night at 7 on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
You like your style, though.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text LION to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text LION to 42424. That's LION to 42424.
Helping to make you the most knowledgeable person in your circle of friends. This is Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley and Amy Allison, who's founder of She the People, and for those who love a great love story, as I do, and we were talking earlier about Amy being married to my friend, who I didn't know. I didn't know she was married to my friend. I just know my friend and I know Amy. I didn't know the two of them had gotten married, even though I knew that my friend was getting married to some woman named Amy, and it turns out to be this Amy. So you'll be happy to know that during that break we actually called David, and she called him on FaceTime, and I got a chance to just laugh and giggle.
The two of them, all they did was look at each other and laugh. Yeah. This is how you know you're in your, you're at that point of life where things come around.
I come all the way to Chicago to discover the wife of a friend of mine who I've known for 25, 30 years, sitting at a table being interviewed about the Democratic Convention. Stranger things have happened, I guess, but I'm so happy for Amy and David. But it was a moment when we connected with him on FaceTime just moments ago. Anyway, as I said, Amy is founder of She the People. We are in Chicago inside the United Center. It's day 2 of the DNC, and we're pushing toward Thursday night, of course, with the big speech from Kamala Harris, the historic speech. But on Wednesday night, Tim Walz, the running mate, Minnesota governor, will speak. But tonight's a big night, a big night. 2 former presidents on the same night. Bill Clinton speaks tonight. Barack Obama speaks tonight. Michelle Obama speaks tonight. And, of course, last night, big night in this hall with Joe Biden at the podium. And it was just raucous in here last night. I want to get back to what we were talking about a moment ago, and that is this notion that Kamala Harris, for black people, has different touch points, different points of connection than Barack Obama had. And so while it is true that lightning doesn't strike twice, as we say, Sade, the great artist, once saying it's never as good as the first time, she does, in fact, as we were discussing at dinner last night with all these intellectuals, she does, in fact, have the capacity, the opportunity to connect to black people in uniquely different ways than Barack Obama did. then here you come complicating it even more, which is a beautiful thing, about all the other parts of her that really make her, frankly, more accessible to a broader array of Americans. That's my way of kind of capitalizing what you were saying, but please continue.
I think you said it beautifully. I think, I was thinking about what it's going to take for Kamala Harris to win. Kamala Harris is going to need to inspire a higher vote turnout than Hillary Clinton. She's going to have to inspire Barack Obama level turnout. And we are already on path. When you look at Kamala Harris's appeal amongst Black women, the latest polls show that in just 3 weeks, she has about over, really close, 89%, up to upwards of 90% of Black women. Now, Barack Obama was just a little higher. For Black men, we have more work to do. They're still in the 70s, and I think that number is growing. What do I think is possible? I think for Black voters in general, the campaign has to do a better job of talking to younger people, younger Black men, younger voters, and I'm talking about younger being under 35, who's the way that they're, a lot of the messages that were coming out were Black men were turning into Trump supporters. That was not what was happening. Younger Black men and younger Black women were disengaged from the Democratic Party in general, to a larger degree. And in the ways that, when you were mentioning the Black church, sororities and fraternities, NAACP, are legacy institutions that engage a generation of people for civic action and voting. And younger people don't engage those institutions in the same way. So this campaign not only has to message differently, it has to engage Black voters differently. And what do we know about what younger Black voters want to hear from this campaign? And this is where I think Kamala Harris can really shine. It isn't just the economy and the cost of things. So she's presented in the last week and yesterday even a plan to stop price gouging and make corporations pay their fair share. And she's recommitted to increasing the minimum wage. All those things are true. But younger Black voters actually care about race relations. They care about banning the fact that in places like Florida, they're banning books about Black history. They care about civil rights. And they want to hear more about what the plan is to protect and expand those that have been attacked. They care deeply about foreign policy. They want to hear what the next president's going to do about those issues. And it is reproductive care and it is health care. But I think my main point is a Kamala Harris presidency, more than a Barack Obama, because that was so long ago in terms of the minds of Americans. These young people need to hear it's not only your demographic, what you look like and how you identify, it's what your plan is and how committed are you to reaching and activating this newer generation that I think is going to be the difference maker this year.
So let me set this up. I'm looking at my clock here. Let me set this up when we come forward. I'll give you all the time you need to unpack it, but I'll tell you where I want to go in just a moment here, Amy Allison. You were talking a moment ago, and you're right about this. Of course, you know this data better than I do, but I know this data point rather well. Barack Obama, and it's still early, it's only been a month, but Barack Obama was tracking higher numbers with Black women voters than Kamala is at the moment. Her numbers have gone up significantly over the last month, but he was tracking better with Black women voters. You probably see where I'm going with this. There has always been this conversation, uncomfortable though it may be. That's what I do. I'm going to ask the tough questions here. There's always this conversation about women hating on women. So that's not foreign to you. You are the founder of She the People. But there's always this dialogue about women hating on women, that they would support a brother for President Barack Obama faster than they would support another sister for president, because women oftentimes, too often, hate on women. I ain't telling you nothing I've heard. I'm telling you what I know, because I know too many black women who have said to me at various times in my life and my career, it's these sisters I'm worried about. And I don't know if that's jealousy or envy. I don't know what that's about. I am not a black woman, obviously, but I ain't stupid. I know this conversation is real about the hate that women sometimes have for each other. And so when Amy says that Barack Obama's numbers with black women were higher than Kamala's numbers, my mind immediately went to this dialogue that I want to have with Amy Allison when we come forward about whether or not, when all is said and done, we will see Kamala's numbers with black women not being as high as Barack's numbers. And if that in fact is the case, what are we going to say on November 6th if she loses the election because she didn't motivate enough women, not even men, enough women, black women, to get behind her? I doubt that will happen, but I want to talk about it because Amy went there and I want to follow her. Her name is Amy Allison. She's founder of She the People. We are live inside the United Center at the DNC. It's day 2. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Hope, agency, dignity. This is Tavis Smiley.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up.
Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Tavis is like George and Wheezy. He's moving on up. Last year, Tavis was number 45 on the Talkers magazine list of the 100 most important radio talk show hosts in America. Wait for it. Wait for it. The 2024 list was recently released, and Tavis has jumped to number 33 on the list of the nation's most important talkers, making him the highest-ranked African-American on the coveted roster. Congratulations to Tavis Smiley from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580. We've got you black.
So my home is also my office, and before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up, then spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
And now Martha Stewart for Skechers. When I make a dish or embark on a craft project, I always use the finest, most fabulous ingredients and materials. Which is why, when it comes to footwear, I love Skechers. Because Skechers is the comfort technology company and uses the most luxurious, innovative materials and designs to make wondrously comfortable footwear with all the fits and features like Arch Fit and Skechers' world-famous air-cooled memory foam. It's exactly the way I'd make shoes.
Find Skechers at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Made fresh daily in the Mert Park, Los Angeles, California. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley, and give me my paper, man. Leave me alone. I'm live on the radio. Get out of here. Tavis Smiley and Amy Allison, founder of She the People. People come and bother me. I'm being funny. We're in an open area. There's a big media center here inside the United Center. And it's a beautiful thing. People keep coming by and they know Amy or they recognize me and they stop and they want to talk. And then I'm like, Let me get off the air first. And people are coming up asking for papers and autographs and pictures and things. It's a beautiful thing. But we're live on the air, and I'm glad to have you tuned into our program. So let me jump right into what I was saying a moment ago, Amy, and that is this notion that sisters sometimes give other sisters a hard time. I'll leave it at that and let you respond to it.
I don't think that's what's happening here.
Okay. I hope not.
I don't think that's what's happening here.
Okay.
There is not near universal support that I'm hearing from Black women that, across, and I'm from California, we're California folks. We know Kamala Harris already, but it's coming from women in Michigan and women from Georgia, and it's coming across the board. I think what my point is that Kamala Harris has to not only poll, but get support higher than Hillary Clinton's numbers in a level that is can compete with Barack Obama's numbers. But Barack Obama had a much longer campaign. So we're seeing the needle move in terms of Black women's support and Black men's support in record time. She's only been the candidate for 3.5 weeks. But when you talk about hating on women of color, Black women, you're right. There's a reason that she's the first. There's a reason that there has been hardly any Black women in the Senate. The American political system was built from the ground up to exclude us. And there is a pervasive sexism and racism that translates to lots of ways that make it difficult for us to win. So it isn't just the He-Man Woman Hater Club. It's not just women who want to be a member of that club. It is a system that has in all the work that I've done in politics, witnessed, takes us out in primaries, gets people an impression that we aren't electable, has donors not giving us the max checks and that kind of thing, and not investing in the voters and the issues that really drive us into political leadership. So all of that's true, and yet Kamala Harris is breaking so many records, her fundraising records, the coalition that's coming around her. I know that later a sociologist or somebody is going to talk about the Kamala Harris coalition, and it's more expansive and it's deeper than the Barack Obama coalition. I've seen it, and it's still in development now.
I want to ask when we come forward in our remaining moments with Amy Allison, founder of She the People, what she expects the moment to be, whether that moment will be Thursday night. Maybe she believes that moment's already happened. I don't know. But my question is simply this. We all know, speaking of Barack Obama, that when the good white folk in Iowa gave us permission to get behind him, we did. Before Iowa, Hillary Clinton was better known in Black America. She was beating him 2 or 3 to 1 in every poll for the Democratic primary. When Black people saw the good white folk in Iowa say, this brother is our choice, everybody, people can lie all day long and act like we got our front. It's not true. Negroes were not down with Barack Obama from day one. That's a lie. I was there. I remember.
Oh, I remember that too.
It was after Iowa. When he won Iowa, then everybody said, who is this Negro? And everybody then paid attention to Barack Obama after he wins Iowa. And to our credit, we all got in line and we did what we had to do. We were fired up and ready to go. But we were not fired up and ready to go on day one.
Right,
it was after he won Iowa. So my question for Amy Allison, in our remaining moments when we come forward, is what is that moment? Is that moment Thursday night? What is that moment where we get in line behind her like we did Obama after Iowa? That's our question when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
What's your quarrel with the world? You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. benefitscheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more. all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada. Member FDIC.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit lafla.org. lafla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com.
Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
Let's get back to more of this rich dialogue with Tavis Smiley.
She's the founder of She the People. We are inside the United Center in Chicago on the eve of three big speeches tonight: Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and Michelle Obama. You know where I want you to go. Go.
Well, I think just picking up on the thread that we talked about before, which was
whether or not we were talking. Actually, two things. Let me do them in order. I'm just watching my timer. One of the points is what it means when a white elected official passes the baton to an African-American candidate. It's a different kind of liftoff than what we typically see. But when a white politician passes the baton to a Black politician, what happens?
I mean, here's what people need to know about modern American politics. Incumbency holds the strings, the purse strings, consultants, in other words, the professionals behind the scenes that make the campaigns happen, and they hold the media narrative strings. If you have an existing, like a President Biden, who said, "Listen, I'm not going to run for re-election," and then literally doesn't let a lot of daylight pass. He says the candidate that we should all get behind is Kamala Harris. He did something that, of all of our organizing and uplifting Black women and women of color, we find a very, very difficult road to climb, which is that access to, basically, he gave donors the green light. Write your checks to Kamala Harris. He gave the consultants who do the mail programs and they do ads on TV, and he told them, this is who you work with.
The PACs.
The PACs. Yeah. This is who you're getting behind in your fund.
He freed everybody.
He freed up, and in that way, instead of Kamala Harris fighting for the 700 staff people who are already employed in the Biden for president reelect, she actually comes in ready to go. And it's additive because it's not only the infrastructure and the donors, but it's everyone else who's excited about her campaign. That's what we're witnessing. They're like, how is it that Kamala Harris speaks to young people with that Kamala HQ on TikTok and other things? How is that? She took the existing infrastructure and added the expertise. It was great.
I've got 60 seconds left. I'll give it to you, Amy Allison. The other question I want to get to right quick is, is it Thursday night? What is that Kamala moment akin to the Iowa moment that gets Black people to say, she can actually.
No, it
win.
already happened.
Okay.
It already happened.
Okay.
Listen, Kamala Harris, she hits the ground running. The moment happened when Biden passed the baton, when Hillary Clinton passed the baton, and it was clear through their really vocal, full-throated endorsement of not only her leadership and her candidacy, but who she is, that she's the future. And it was signaled in all of the speeches that we heard last night and through the week. This is a Woman of Color week. This is Kamala Harris's week. The moment's already happened. And I believe black people to a higher and higher percentage will keep coming strong for Kamala Harris.
Amy Allison is a proud woman of color, and she's the founder of She the People. And I've been honored to have had her on this program live from the United Center at the DNC. It is day 2. Amy, all the best to you and to David.
Thank you.
Thanks for this hour. More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. The Democratic National Convention rolls on in Chicago, Illinois. A number of well-known names hit the stage Monday, including freshman Congresswoman African-American Jasmine Crockett of Texas, who urged voters to carefully consider the resumes of the 2 candidates for the Oval Office. General Motors is eliminating over 1,000 jobs, with almost 600 of the positions located at its Global Technical Center in Michigan. The company says the cuts are to streamline operations and lead to more efficiency. Gen Z is blaming social media for mental health issues they experience. That's according to a Talker research survey of 2,000 Gen Z social media users. They say TikTok and Instagram are the main culprits, followed by Facebook. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
The best nugs are now even better. Wendy's new saucy nugs take the nugs you love and sauce them up in bold flavors, including buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, and spicy ghost pepper. Try them all today. For a whole new way to nug, it's gotta be Wendy's. A participating U.S. Wendy's.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert practiced Monday for the first time since July 31st. Herbert was out with a plantar fascia injury in his right foot. Chargers coach Jim Harbaugh said Herbert looked sharp in his return despite the long layoff. The Chargers hope to have Herbert ready for the regular season opener September 8th against the Raiders. The Rams continue to be cautious with quarterback Matthew Stafford's hamstring injury. Stafford is limited to only stretching exercises in practice. The Rams are saving him for their regular season opener September 8th at Detroit. Miller Moss has been named USC starting quarterback. The junior from Mission Hills, California, has the challenging task of replacing Caleb Williams, the #1 pick in the NFL draft. Moss indicated he's up for the challenge when he threw 6 touchdown passes in USC's Holiday Bowl win over Louisville in December. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
I need you, dollar, that's what I need.
KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates small businesses, the enduring lifeblood of our community, with the launch of the KBLA SMB Marketplace. For the first time, small to medium-sized businesses will have an opportunity to promote their goods and services on KBLA and take advantage of our powerful reach and local marketing power. The SMB Marketplace is hosted exclusively on KBLA1580.com and is accessible from all our social media channels. Whether you're a small mom and pop restaurant, a car dealership, or a professional practitioner, we invite you to join in this new KBLA Talk 1580 initiative to promote your business. As a black-owned small business, you don't want to miss this unique opportunity to gain new customers on KBLA Talk 1580. For more information, contact us today at smb@kbla1580.com. That's smb@kbla1580.com. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
And if I share with you my story, would you share your dollar with me? Time to get it.
Yeah. 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 And I heard him say, nothing's ever promised tomorrow today. From the shot, like Tim, it's a harder way. So this is in the name of love, like Robert say. Before you ask me to go get a job today, can I at least get a raise on the minimum wage? And I know the
Tavis Smiley.
government